Hi, my name is Daniel Williams. I am a business administration major here at Lourdes University. I'm will be graduating in the spring semester of 2018, and I'm excited to tell you about my internship working with AVI Food Systems that I had during the fall semester. So I just want to talk about the company, a really brief company overview. AVI actually bought this account about 7 years ago. It actually used to be in the basement here at Lourdes University, but since then we've seen that it's grown substantially with the new remodel about 3 to 4 years ago. So since that time, AVI has put in and invested a lot of money into their facilities, and that really speaks volume of how they operate as a corporate. They understand that building these values within the company is the way you get the maximum output out of your employees and your staff. And you can see that the customers really enjoy this and reflect upon it because they invested so much time and energy into these new facilities. So when I was brought on, I was actually sat down with my sous chef, my supervisor, and the direct manager, and they told me a quick overview of what my purpose was for the next 2 months, and they showed me how we're going to communicate through different channels, the facilities, the equipment that we're going to use, and it was it's real good that this managerial staff cultured me before I was even on the floor. I think that most businesses don't do this properly, and that's why their turnover rates are usually always high. The other thing about AVI was most of the staff, not all, but most of the staff have been there since 7 years. It just started with 6 people, and now they have about 22 employees that they worked with. So it was really exciting to hear everybody's backstory and how they were brought on to the AVI family, and how then I was going to be brought into the AVI family and start my own story. So before I could effectively run the floor, it was important that I had to learn each individual station. In our cafeteria, there's 5 stations. There's the fry, the grill, the pizza, the salad bar, and there's also a fusion station. So I wanted to make sure that I knew the positions efficiently before I was able to staff these people there. So learning the stations was a big part of my internship. I first worked the fry station. I learned very quickly that this is the highest demand station, and that's simply because our students are our main customers in this respect. Our customers really liked what came out of the fry. They liked your chicken wings, these are chicken nuggets, mozzarella sticks. They really liked anything that was dropped in that fryer, essentially, more so than the home-style cooking or the salad bar. I wasn't really efficient at this station before my internship due to lack of experience, but my sous chef was always hovering over me, and he gave me great support and great tips and advice on how to be more efficient in my setup. So after learning the fry station for about 3 to 4 days, I then went to the grill station. And the grill station was really fun because I was able to learn hash marks. I was able to cook really high-end meat products on the grill. We did filet mignon for some service dinners. We cooked a lot of chicken on the grill. But all this was a really good learning experience for me because I was able to understand every component that went to a grill, how to make all your high-end meat products to mark them effectively on the grill and make them look pretty as well, because presentation is key. So I started learning the grill. I then went to pizza station, which was, for my own personal experience, not the best station to work, just due to low demand. It wasn't very difficult. It wasn't labor intensive. As long as you were adequately prepped for the station, then you should have been pretty. Then I was well, but I wasn't really learning anything on the station. So from my personal experience, it wasn't the best, but I still felt like I had to learn it just so I know the cadence to put a pizza in every 20 minutes essentially. And when one pizza is half empty, then we had to put another pizza in. Tuesday nights happened to be our busy nights for pizza, so it was important that we had 8 prepped, and then any left over, we'll roll it over for the next day. So just learning these things, understanding these rules that I was noticing for myself and mapping it out for myself, that really helped me for the future when I was actually going to lead the floor. So after the pizza station, I then learned fusion, and fusion is where we did really cool dinner concepts like sushi or even some KFC bowls or Chipotle bar, things of this nature that happened in this station. This was kind of a treat to the student, and unfortunately, some students didn't take this opportunity to develop the palate. One night we had a chicken cordon bleu with garlic mash, and a student asked if the chicken was raw in the center, and he didn't understand that. No, well, it's rolled up ham. So things. It was there. It's there to build awareness to students in our community of food that they haven't tried yet, and that's why I really liked that station as well. And the other station, the last one, is salad bar. The salad bar is your hit or miss. It could be your most busiest station for two reasons. If you have an influx of 200 customers coming into the salad bar and they're just attacking, they're taking everything, you don't have enough product in the back to replace it. So, and you also have to replace all the products simultaneously. So salad bar could be really busy for like 5 minutes and then absolutely deserted for the other 10. And so I worked these stations for at least 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks working all the stations, I began to understand more of my role in AVI in the cafeteria, because not only was the floor not being properly ran, it could have been ran much more efficiently. So then I'll talk about that in the next slide. So this was the actual part of my job. This is why I got hired. This was actually leading the floor. I've had some experience leading the floor in my past jobs, so this wasn't really going to be a challenge to me, I thought. The challenge was that someone found out was understanding how to staff my floor. Most of the positions needed very quick, very precision-making ability, and some of our staff members, what I found, weren't able to meet that ability. So for certain days, I had to understand how to really run my floor in the most effective manner. The current system that I was in now wasn't working. We had positions going to other positions to help them out, and then when that happened, their position wouldn't have food out for the customers. It was kind of a mess. Everybody was just running around like chickens with their head cut off. So I thought it would be a good idea to first make a map, and I did that using SmartDraw. It's a free online software. And so I created this map, and I wanted to illustrate to my staff saying these are the moves, and this is where you move if you need to restock anything. I wanted to put in place a prep schedule as well, so we didn't have anybody really running around. That way, Pizza knew exactly how much pizzas he should have on certain days. Grill knew how much items he should have and how they should back up. They have their backups. This was really helpful for salad bar. I learned when I was working on salad bar that being over prepped is usually always better. So I was constantly coaching my salad bar positioned to always have their prep ready. And in worst case scenario, in the stress test, if they were hit with large volumes of people, we knew we had now a system in place where grill will go to fry, where pizza will stand alone, have sous chef come through and help them. We had fusion stand alone, and then a bar salad bar if desserts ran out, milk ran out, or cereal ran out. I felt like this map, creating this map, and then learning my staff members, this is very important. If I didn't learn my staff members, though, I would have absolutely failed in running my floor. They would have not respected me, and they would have not saw my ability to actually run the floor effectively. They would have not saw that because they would have been so disillusioned at the fact that I was new there and essentially telling them where to go. So learning my staff members was probably the key takeaway that that I had to do versus my past experience. In my past experience, I was just able to tell people where to go because it was a job. But here, because it's such a close-knit family, I really had to learn my staff members, learn their interests, and it turned out to work in my favor. So besides running the floor for some closing nights at the restaurant, I also got to get involved with the catering services that Loris does. Um, really large events, 200 to 300 people at the time. This was my first ever experience in catering, so it was a real treat. I was able to meet a lot of industry chefs. I was able to meet a lot of account managers for different accounts. I was able to meet actually the AVI director himself. So it was a real pleasure talking to all these individuals and all in food, the food business, talking about the personal history, and that's what really that was key for me because I wanted to know how they got into the position that they're in now. These catering services not only brought in a lot of industry chefs and professionals, but they brought in a lot of customers from the galas, from the gala. So these individuals come from substantial backgrounds, and I was able to shake a lot of hands at these events. But besides personally what I got out of it, learning how to run a catering event was extremely stressful. We had to prep about 4 to 5 days prior from the event, and it was non-stop prepping as well. We had to make multiple platters, multiple food. We had our meat products come in. We had a giant ice sculpture that was that we had to keep in the freezer. There was just so much intricate moves that need to be handled swiftly and effectively. So I shadowed the account director when we had our Citrus Gala, and I was able to see how she managed her staff, and it was a lot different than how I managed my staff. So with the same people. So it was interesting. It was definitely a learning experience that I'm going to take forward after I graduate. And I just want to give a shout out to Ellie Coleman. Ellie Coleman was my sous chef whenever I needed anything. He was always there giving me advice, mentoring me on how to cook essentially, how to run his floor better, how to be precise. So I really want to thank Ellie for that. Chris Lowe, thank you for letting me work in your kitchen. Thank you for showing me exactly what I need the tools for to be successful. If and when I do choose to go into catering myself. And Kate, thank you for inviting me into your family. AVI is a very close-knit family structure, and they do pride themselves on what they believe in. And it's a beautiful thing to see a lot of people come together in a restaurant business because the restaurants are known to have very high turnover rates, and it's because most of the staffs aren't satisfied in their positions. And it's really nice to see that your family stays as a family. So thank you for this internship.